All right. We don't have a whole lot that I really want to go over today. Don't get too, I want to say, bent out of shape or looking at all this content that's on here. The very first time that we went through this curriculum years ago, it was offered first hour as well, and it was one of those aspects to where I want to say from January to maybe through February, we were having 2 late starts a week. That was just the type of winter that we had. So we didn't even finish everything within that chapter. But I just want to go over part of a review that hopefully we look some of the vocabulary and say, yes, okay, I do remember this, even though it might have been a month ago. But welcome back to final semester, okay? And I hope we've had an opportunity to see and visit people that you may have not seen in a while. But anyway, regardless, what sticks out in my mind is if you go to, let's say, the back page there, okay? So when you see oxidation and reduction, this is, let's see, I think it was in the general chemistry class. When it comes to, let's say, I was talking to Braden about that as far as wrestling is concerned. If there's a type of move that you're trying to describe, what do you think is easier to do? Or even if there's a basketball play, is it one that's described to you, or is it one that you actually view and watch? Which one would be easier? And I think that would be the case too. So in the last 2 vocabulary terms, oxidation and reductions, we've gone through those, and even if you just look at that when you're reading it, it might not make any sense. Maybe yes, and maybe no. But once you see what's actually taking place, and when you see the actual definition then, okay, so if we take a substance like this, okay, oh, no, that's not quite what I had in mind. Okay. All right. From prior knowledge, what is going to happen here? That's exactly what it's going to do. So this is where you're actually seeing what's happening, but if you were to read it, it is one of those vocabulary terms. And which one do you think makes sense when you look at the last one of the last 2?
Reduction.
Oh, here, one of each. Okay. It's actually oxidation, because one of the things that we had said, be careful, whether this one you're fine. Okay. What's significant about the top and the bottom one of each one of those? You're right, but which one's which? Right. Yep. Well, yeah, it is you could say it's the strongest of these 2, but these 2 would be the same. They're very powerful oxidizing agents. So when something gets oxidized, okay, so when you're looking at the definition, reactions which the number of hydrogens decreases or oxygens increase. Now, in this case, okay, what is going to happen, and according to that definition, to this hydrogen? What does it say? Exactly. So it's going to go away. And what type of alcohol is this? Why is that important? Yeah, it goes through 2 stages if this is on the end, but since it's a secondary alcohol, okay, we lose that hydrogen. And then what's the result from that, if you do it correctly? Yeah, you get a ketone. That's something that you had done last semester, but just didn't realize it according to your terminology. Okay? So can we reverse this reaction? Well, of course. We can take this ketone And now we can reduce it, okay? And what does it say as far as reducing? You're adding more what to it? Mm-hmm.
H2SO4?
So, no. You're adding more hydrogen, but what had you had said it's correct. What was that? Yeah, so if you're just adding more hydrogen to this, okay, and then maybe a metal catalyst there, now we're going to do just the opposite, okay? So notice here we've got a ketone, and if we're going just the opposite of what we did here, and we're going to add some hydrogens, okay, what do we see is going to happen on that carbon if you're adding hydrogens? Yeah, it's going to become an alcohol again. You go back to the original state then, okay? So then what happens is, remember there was a bond here available, so that's where one hydrogen went, and then of course the other hydrogen ended up back here. This is what we were talking about last semester. Some of these reactions are reversible, and this is how you would go about doing that, okay? So like I said, I didn't want to go over a whole lot, so I thought maybe just a little bit of review, throw some vocabulary in there, and I think we would call that good. Okay, so next week, let's see here. You'll probably, well, not probably, you will have your first paper. The reactions are, it's not that they're difficult, but they are detailed, okay? So all semester long, we said it's always about the what? These are, no. You're going to say, oh, I knew that. It's all about this compound. Part of it. Hydrogen's part of it. Another hydrogen's part of it. Yeah, it's all about the water. And you could actually see this being the case here, where here it's always involved with this H2O. And when you're dealing with esterification, saponification, all of those, it's going to be about the water. Okay, so, but that's a little ways down the road. We'll have your first paper naming acids and some of the reactions that entail acids as well. All right, we will catch up to you next time.